welcome back to How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Anime Review, Episode number 4. Yes, it has been a while since I've done a review for this series for good reason. Because last year I just reviewed the opening season of the show, which aired 3 years ago, and, well, I was anticipating this season, and, well, didn't disappoint. There was, however, a slight problem with this particular first episode. For some reason, I'm not really sure why, Funimation didn't have on the website for some strange reason, despite the fact they do have the Japanese sub, and it wasn't available on the Crunchyroll app for some reason. But I look in the website, it's there. Yeah, I found it there. Not much of a problem. I don't know why in the world this episode was so hard to find, but there it is. This episode is called High Priest, the very first episode of Season 2, and technically the 13th episode of the anime. Now, this technically adapts from Book 4 for the series. I would probably say just Chapter 2. Yep, one chapter. Not surprising here because, well, next episode I gotta do what do next. The episode starts off a bit controversially. Yeah, it's a bit basically out of order per se, but that's basically how it is. So, it starts off with a new character named... She's actually the head priest. She realizes later on in the episode. Yes, her name is... Lemekana Wasia. Yes. Yeah, this episode is her anime debut. Though she did technically make a first appearance animation via the trailers they released for this particular season. And she's running away with her... Let's say her paladin bodyguard, Taria, where they're attacked by a giant worm. Yes, they're attacked by a giant worm. And then the person who actually is in charge, who basically summoned the giant worm, revealed to be a paladin. Yes, a paladin. This is, of course, according to... His name is Gritwell. Yeah, this is another character who's making his first appearance here. Yes, despite the fact he looks a lot like a woman. Yes, and he's trying. And basically, what he does, he summons a beast mushroom. That's the name of this damn thing, and then proceeds into tentacle hentai. You know, with the thing with the tentacles, ripping clothes. Looks like about to be a rape here. Nope. They're about to get started. Well, the clothes do get ripped per se off the holy girl, but nope. Doesn't go any further than that. Doesn't do anything inappropriate here. And then here comes Diablo crashing on top of the beast mushroom, just landing back first in the damn thing. Yes, but we do a little bit of rewind here of how the heck this happened. How the heck Diablo get in this position? Well, apparently after the events of the first season of the show, Diablo, Shira, and Rem are trying to test out a new spell. They're not on some mission per se. They're trying to test out a new spell. Okay, what spell? The light. Interesting. So, he just kind of come across a tree trunk just lying on the ground and tests the magic. It flies for a while, sees a magic up distance, presumably Lemuria's magical power. Excuse me. And then he basically flies to the power and knock. They also mentioned about his dungeon here. Yes, his own dungeon. In a particular region where he get equipment, whatever. So this is technically set up for that particular dungeon's first appearance in the anime. Yes, the dungeon makes first appearance, I believe, in Book 6, if I'm not mistaken. No, more like Book 5. Yeah, I think it's Book 5, his actual base. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he doesn't really run anymore in the actual books themselves. No, not really. Yes, I believe it's Book 5 was the first appearance of this particular place. Yes, I believe Book 5 was the first appearance. of the location of his former dungeon. Yeah, I'm looking up the name of the place. Let's see here. Yeah, I believe this book 5 is. Yeah, book 5 is technically the first appearance of this place. Yeah, I think the book 5 is the first time you actually see the damn place. So, the way this season is probably going to go, we're probably going to see it sometime this season. What episode? I don't know. So, then after, and then the paladin summons up 2 more worms, one on the ground, and of course, well, the cup of the fact this woman is naked. Well, frontal, not exactly full frontal nudity per se, because she's still her panties are still intact. So he just gives her his cloak to cover up, which is quite nice of him. Destroys one of the. It has apparently, get this, one of the worms. Yeah, I'll get to the worm in a minute. So then the ground opens up. He feels the first. See, the first one he says is a level 60 worm, and he sees the one below that's level 80, and he proceeds to destroy him with this Arco Shredder, which he's destroyed the damn thing, and then the guy summons more monsters, and he uses a blizzard to pretty much freeze them and the paladin. Don't worry, he comes back. And of course he passes out, and then we see that from the one the worms were destroyed, we see that her paladin bodyguard is alive. Yep, she looks like she's alive and well. We see her moving, so clearly she's still alive. And then of course Ram and Shira show up and think that Diablo must have assaulted her. No, he didn't. So they take her back to town, to Filote, where they basically recover. Where she basically was coming, I believe, in Diablo's room. Well, one of his 2 rooms he actually has. So they chat for a while. And of course, we see Clem. We see her first appearance in the episode here, where she's eating biscuits. Now, in the English dub, they've referred to these as cookies. In the sub, they refer to as the original light novel, biscuits. Yes. Despite the fact, but look at these things, they look like cookies. She's a cookie-obsessed demon lord. And then, of course, oh yeah, by the way, when she sees Diablo, she mistakes him for God. Yes, frequently. And of course, Ram and Shira point out, though, he called himself his brother, he just says Diablo. Yeah, it does mention the fact he's actually a demon lord from the word he does mention to her, per se. It says it in his mind. Actually says in front of Ram and Shira when we first see this in the episode. And of course, after chatting for a while, and of course, there's a commotion where they mention, oh yeah, because Diablo kind of saw her naked, despite the fact he didn't see her fully naked. Apparently, that's reason for them to get married, despite the fact, if you're a little spoiler though, they do not get married. Nope, they don't. So, and of course, she refers to him as probably Lord Diablo, from what I can tell, or at least Sir Diablo, right? I guess probably Lord. And then Clank comes in and says, oh yeah, I'm at Biscuits. And we see that the Fallen, who actually works for Clem, is there. And of course, it hints, oh yeah, they're about to have a conflict. And of course, they calm down. And of course, Ren comes to an interesting idea to see her plan is simply just to expose all the corruption in the church. And apparently, the actual power of the church is controlled by the cardinals. Which I'm thinking about, I'm like, wait, is this church in this world based upon the Catholic Church? Because they have cardinals, they have paladins, and apparently the head priest is apparently their world's version of the Pope. Yep. So, after basically selling that, yeah, they'll escort him. And then, of course, he asks various people to look after Clem and Ballard as the person in charge of the inn, asks the head of the guild, the head of the magical guild, like, no problem. And they set off on their journey, and that's what the episode. Well, of course, you also have Shira. Something she did not do in the previous season. Have Clem basically have her face buried in her chest. Well, because she'll basically miss her. And of course, they go off, and of course, she also enchants her bow. Be sort of like a cursed bow, but that'd be something basically to play along for the next several episodes. I gotta say, from the actual adaptation wise, they probably did a pretty good job with this. It's been a little while since I've read book 4. Yeah, I think the last time I read book 4 was actually last year. I should point out, though, the actual novels for How Not to Summon Demon Lord are really short. Each book that pretty much proceeds from the first book up until the most recent book for the series tend to get shorter and shorter as time went on. The actual page length of this book, per se, the one that this one adapts from, book number 4. This one, they don't say, but I believe this is about 100, I think it's 12 pages, I believe. Not 112, it's more I think it's 150 pages, I say. Yeah, they're basically very thin books. Think of it as how these books are, the Aztec War. They're about this length. Yeah, they're really, really short. Yep. So, I have the presumption that basically that because the books are really short. So, we'll probably see book 4 adapted in about 4 episodes, but technically they already adapted the first chapter and the prelude for the end of last season, per se. So, my guess is that this book probably wrapped up by episode 3. I'd say the 3rd episode, per se, or 4, is when they'll wrap up adapting book 4, and book episode 5, they'll start adapting book number 5. My hope is for the season. Now, they did announce that, and this I'm not particularly too happy with this season is said to have 10 episodes instead of 12. I was kind of hoping for 24 because I was kind of hoping really to get to book 9. But no, they want to go to 10 for some reason. You read an article online. Apparently they confirmed the season for 10 episodes, which, okay, I kind of thought it would be longer, but maybe we might get part 2. Who knows? But how far they will adapt to, I don't know. It just depends. I mean, the big hope is basically getting to book 7, but I also want to see book 9 adapted because here's the thing, book 6, the ending of it, teases the next 3 books. So, we might see that this season. It's possible, to say the least. Next week's episode is called Head Paladin. Yes, that is the name of the 2nd episode of season 2. Yeah, this. By the way, this season they call it How Not to Summon Demon Lord Omega. Yes, that is seriously the name of this season. Now, if you're curious to how far I read for the light novels for How Not to Summon Demon Lord, I have read pretty much all the ones been released. Yeah. Excuse me. For some reason, the last book came out, here anyways, book number, I believe it's book number, I'm trying to think, I think it was 13 is the most recent book released. The actual book itself, print-wise, was released back in, well, the ebook was released in December, though the print book is going to be released in July. Yes. Now, there probably is going to be book 14, but I haven't heard anything exactly when the book is going to be released. I hope it does, because the light novels are pretty easy to read. They don't take very long, and they're pretty fun to read overall. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, some comment referred to it as the trash isekai, which, no, it's not. It's a pretty fun anime to watch. Plus, I enjoy it. I may not write light novels like some other series, but I enjoy reading the series, and I do think the anime is actually really good. And for some reason, I'm not really sure why this is. Apparently, someone put this on one of the worst adapted light novels for an anime on their high opinion list. I think it was from CBR. I saw this. I'm like, no, it's a pretty faithful adaptation of the light novel, so don't call it don't say it's unfaithful. It is. Okay? So yeah, that's a particular view. Next view is going to be a comic corner, and then that'll be probably it for today because I don't have time to do any more videos today because it's getting kind of late, okay? See you next video. Bye.